All right, so we're looking at the wages control account. This is where all transactions involving wages, salaries, this is where everything is recorded, all right, to ensure accuracy, verified. All right, this is where we record all of that information. So we've got an example here. It says the management of XOE requires a wages control account to determine the gross salaries and wages for 13 employees working in the company. The following information is extracted from a weekly payroll for the 13 employees. So we've got 10 employees in the marketing and sales department, and we've got 3 employees. Yes, or I zoom in the words. Huh? How about that? Is this okay? Okay. So think of also the wages control account like a liability account, right? Once you figure out how much you owe your workers, you until the workers are paid, that's a liability to you. So as we do the calculations, we're also going to be doing the journal entries. Right. So employees are paid 70 kwacha per hour and were paid for the 8 hours worked for 24 days in a month for the sales department. Then employees are paid 8 kwacha per hour and were paid for the 6 hours worked for 25 days for the logistics department. So we need to calculate how much do we need to pay our workers. This is basically our direct labor. Okay, so we want to find out what is our direct labor cost. Okay, so colleagues, let's do this together. What are we supposed to do? So direct labor basically is the wage rate times the number of wage rate multiplied by a number of hours worked. All right, and we multiply that by the number of days by the number of employees. So the wage we start with sales and marketing wage rate is 70 kwacha. Number of hours worked is 8 hours for the marketing department. All right. We worked for 24 days and we have 10 employees in the sales and marketing department. Let's get our calculators. What value are we supposed to get here? Yes, Madam Marvelous. 900. Okay, 134,500. Okay. Huh? 200. Okay. Don't know. Don't know. You found the same? All right. So let's see now for logistics. Same thing. So logistics, we them that paid 80 kwacha per hour. They worked for 6 hours for 25 days, and there are three of them. What value are we getting here? 36,000 flat. Okay, so let's total up our direct labor cost. 134,400 plus 36,000. All right, yes. So this is the total direct labor cost. So the journal entry would be like this. You can debit direct labor cost. This is the expense we're incurring. If you remember from accounting, whenever you incur an expense, you debit it. So direct labor, 170,400. Then we credit the wages control account. This is what we're owing our workers in terms of direct labor. Any questions? The employees worked extra 10 hours for the sales department, 15 hours logistics department during the month as overtime, and were paid at a time and a quarter for sales for the sales department and time and a third for logistics department. So here we have to calculate overtime. So overtime is like an indirect labor expense. So overtime equals the wage rate times number of hours worked multiplied by overtime premium. So we're going to start with the sales and marketing department. Wage rate is 70 kwacha per hour. Overtime 10 hours. Overtime premium is said time and a quarter. So a quarter is 0.25. 0.25 plus 1, that is 1.25. Right? Whenever they say time and a quarter, like for example here, time and a quarter, what you're just going to do is you're going to add 1 plus the fraction. So they said, so for these guys in logistics, it's time and a third. So you're going to do 1 plus 1 over 3. And then 1 over 3, convert it to a decimal, and you're going to have a value. So here for sales, since it was time and a quarter, so it's 1 plus 1 over 4. 1 over 4, 0.25. Plus 1, that's how we got this 1.25. So let's calculate 70 times 10 times 1.25. 875. And there are 10 workers, right? Times 10, 8,750. Any questions? All right, so now we go to logistics and what's this? Logistics and procurement. So their rate is 80 kwacha per hour. Number of overtime hours worked, that is, let's say that means 15 hours. Time, it told us time and a third. So 1 over 3, if you convert it to the decimal, what is it? So 1 over 3 is 0.33. Then we add 0.33 plus 1. That's how we get 1.33. What is our... Then we have to multiply by the number of workers. So 180 times 15 times 1.33. 1,596 multiplied by 3 workers. 1,788. So in total, how much are we paying in overtime? So say 8,750 plus 4,788. 13,538, right? Yes. So the journal entry can also debit overtime, or you can also debit production overheads. Production overheads. And you can put in here overtime. Remember, whenever this is an expense which we have to pay to our workers, That's why it's debited 13,538. We credit the wages control accounts, which tells us. So since we haven't paid our employees yet, we're owing this. We're owing them this money. So wages control account 13,538. Employees receive a bonus of 1,200 for each achieving 90% of the projected sales for the month. So we've got 13 employees, so 1,200 multiplied by 13 employees. 15,600. 15,600. Okay. So again, debit production overhead bonuses. $15,600. Transport allowance of 11,750 was paid. Mhm. Just enter the figure, yes. Idle time 15 hours were recorded. So 15 hours. Let me separate since the both departments they what's this? They've got different rates. So idle time will say 15 hours for sales and marketing. I'll say 10 hours for logistics and procurement. So for sales and marketing, 15 hours. Their normal wage rate is 70 kwacha per hour. So 15 times 70. And then for logistics, it's 10 times then wage rate is 80 kwacha per hour. 80. Mm-hmm. So this one is 800 for sales, for logistics and procurement, 800 kwacha. Sales, what's 15 times 70? 1050 kwacha. So in total, how much has been paid? 1,850 kwacha. Okay. Yes. So debit production overheads, idle time. So now we can tabulate the total. Okay, okay, yes. Right. So when I send this document, I'll put in the T account, okay, for the wages control account. Here, what we can do is we can just get the total of how much must be paid. Okay, so we start 1,850 plus 11,750 plus 15,600 plus 13,538 plus 170,400. How much do we get in total? What did we get in total? Hello, are you still there? Have we added? What value are we getting? So this is the journal entry, wages, wages expense. Mm-hmm. 2-1. Madam, could you say the number again? 1,008. Okay, let me also calculate. 1,850 plus 11,750 plus 15,600 plus 13,538 plus 170,400. 213,000. 213,138. So this is the total wages expense. This is what is being owed. The same 213,000 to 13,138. This goes into the income statement. And then when we pay, this will be the journal entry. Your credit wages control, meaning a reduction in your liability. So you debit, then your credit bank, reduction in an asset, credit. So when I send this document, I'll put the T account. Just remember, all those entries we're doing, they are going on the credit side of the wages control account.